Hey, this is Tanisha, and this week we are going over challenge 10 of 100, and someone in the comments gave me this idea, and that was to pull a color out of, well, it was out of a hat, but I'll pull it out of a cup that I don't typically use. I just wrote down some of the colors I don't use often, and this was one of them. This was from my Americana paints. I do sometimes use those, not for, just for when I'm practicing and things like that. Although they are considered to be archival or light fast, supposedly. Anyway, so that's what this is. This is challenge 10 of 100, and the goal is not to finish a painting, but to try something different and experience, just have different experiences with abstract paintings. And the goal is also not to finish the painting. And so while we're talking about that, I want to get into some changes that I am making as I move forward with this challenge. So when I initially started this challenge, the goal was to do quick studies. And what I've ended up turning it into is hours and hours of studies. So for most of, let's say, abstract 1 through 9, I would spend hours sometimes working on that. And honestly, to me, that was not a quick study. And I thought about it, I did a calculation, and I said, well, if I made one abstract a week, it would take me 3 years, and there is no way I want to wait to go 3 years with this challenge. So I've decided that, you know, let's make this a true quick study. It is not something I need to finish, and it is just something that I'm doing to get experience and to just gain more experience with abstract painting. Now, I have been really working through abstract painting for maybe a couple years now. So anyways, I feel like this learning that I'm doing, these challenges that I'm doing will probably never end. It's just that right now I've challenged myself to do 100 paintings, and not complete paintings at that, just 100 different styles of working with abstract painting. So as I move forward with this challenge, like I said, there will be some changes. So right now I am using a 8x8 watercolor paper, and it is small, but I decided that going forward for the next set of videos, I'm going to use a 5x5 watercolor paper, because I want it to really truly be a quick study and not something that I get too involved in. I realized I was getting a little bit too involved, and I was making it a little bit more precious than I should have. And I really want this to be a real challenge and a quick study. And so another thing that I did different in this video is that instead of spending 2-3 hours on this painting, I put on a timer and I gave myself 15 minutes to make it. So I really couldn't even think a whole lot. And one thing I can guarantee you, this painting is nowhere near done, but I got to play around with this color. At first I thought it was, to be honest, a little bit interesting. I wasn't sure I really liked this color. I felt like it needed to be mixed with something to really like. It's not horrible. It just reminds me of something. I don't know if I want to say here, but it's okay. I tried to work with it. And oh, I forgot to mention this. So one of the things I did before I pulled the color out of the hat, I gave myself 2 base colors to work with. And I gave myself, one was called Buttermilk, one was called Warm Beige. And I did not know what that, so the third color was the one I picked out of the cup, which was the milk chocolate. And so I'm working with what I have. This is what I have. I didn't have a lot of time, and I'm just trying out a different color. And you know, I don't mind trying a different color. It was really nice. And I feel like what I like to do is I do have my colors that I always go back to over and over, but I could see myself potentially, you know, having a spot or two of a different color that I don't use, maybe to bring about a little bit of difference. But overall, to be honest with you, when I look at a lot of artists, there are some artists who do use a lot of different colors, but there are a lot of artists who have their colors. You just recognize them by their colors. I recently went to an art gallery, and I noticed there was a particular person, I noticed them around the gallery because they use the same type of, just the way that they painted, the colors they used, it was just, you just knew them by it. So, you know what, I like my colors. It is what it is, it's who I am. And on this channel, I am encouraging people to be who they are, be who God made you, and that's what I'm going to be. And if I'm using the same colors, that's who I am. I will always keep my mind open to experimenting, and I know I will try different colors and I will add in different colors. But you know, the reality is I'm probably always going to be prone to certain colors, and I think there's different seasons of life where you'll change what colors that you like and what's coming forth versus what was coming forth the last year. So we evolve and we change as we go. So I'm just going to leave it up to that, and we'll see how it goes. But I enjoy playing around with these colors. If I had more time, I would have done more, but this is close to where we've landed. So right about here, I started to try to make the colors a bit darker. I did allow myself to have access to black and white, although I didn't use it a lot. I did try to get a little bit darker with that brown, and it wasn't too bad. Again, there was more I could have done here. Time was not there, and I'm actually glad I gave myself the time limit, because sometimes I was just making it a little bit too precious for a quick study, and I realized I could never get through this in a decent amount of time. So yeah, this is just me trying out the color. It was good. I know I will see myself use a brown in the future. Now, for anything that any abstracts that I make that'll go on my website, I use a different kind of paint entirely. But this was fun, and I will be incorporating more browns, and I actually had fun playing with some art crayons. Those are really fun, and right here, I had to add my pink in. I mean, it's one of my favorite colors. So I added in, I used a Shiva oil stick. So what's pretty cool about this oil stick is that it will dry in about 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days max. So you don't have to wait months and months and months for this to dry. I really like that stick, that oil stick, and hopefully I'll do a review some point on this channel about some of my favorite art supplies. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about how I'm changing the challenge up and how I'm going to do 15-minute timers and quick studies. And yeah, so definitely like the video if you like it, and look forward to talking to you in the comments.